session era, which is there is no more border between one nation to another nation, and something that we have to be sure also, that's the most maybe international language, bahasa internasional. There are many international language, but from others international language, English is the most popular one, ya. Lagi belajar bahasa Inggris itu ternyata ini pengalaman pribadi, this is my own experience, that comparing to learning Mandarin, comparing to learning Japanese, English is the easiest, guys. If you want to be, someone who has a lot of ability in speaking many foreign languages, you should start from learning English. Harus dimulai dulu dari bahasa Inggris. Mulai dari yang paling mudah dulu.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Welcome to Poksi, podcast anak vokasi. My name is Iklima, and my partner.
And I'm Abel, and today we're gonna talk about gimana sih kombinasi antara bahasa Inggris dalam dunia kerja. Dan kita ini nggak sendiri loh. Today we are with our extrovert lecturer, Mr. Dai. So, how are you?
Oh, great. Alhamdulillah, I'm good. Okay, how about you, Bob?
Not really good.
Not really good, yeah. Is it because of Ramadan or something?
I think yes.
I think yes. Okay,
Bisa menjaga kesehatan di bulan Ramadan.
Yeah, that's really important actually. Making sure that our condition is always good, ya. Okay. Ya, oke.
Oke. Nah, tadi kan aku udah spill judulnya nih. Kita membahas bahasa Inggris dalam dunia kerja.
Oke.
Mr. Dayan sendiri kan
That's gonna be important ya.
English lecturer di PLJ Depok.
Oke.
Nah, menurut Mr. penerapan bahasa Inggris di kehidupan sehari-hari dan fungsi kita mempelajari bahasa Inggris itu apa? Karena masih ada aja nih menurut saya. Ini tuh kayak malu untuk
applying, using English every day.
Mungkin karena takut salah atau mungkin takut ada orang yang ngejudge, mungkin kita ada di bukan kayak circle yang crab mentality.
I see, ya.
Ya lu ngapain sih ngomong bahasa Inggris, orang kita sama-sama makan nasi.
Okay. First of all, should I speak in English or bilingual maybe?
Bilingual.
Bilingual, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think I do agree with your opinion, your statement that English is really important, especially for us. Yeah, as we know that we live now in a globalization era, which is there is no more border between one nation to another nation, and something that we have to be sure also, that's the most maybe international language, bahasa internasional. There are many international language, but from others international language, English is the most popular one, ya. Dan satu lagi, belajar bahasa Inggris itu ternyata ini pengalaman pribadi, this is my own experience, that comparing to learning Mandarin, comparing to learning Japanese, English is the easiest, guys. English is the easiest. So prove me, if you want to be, someone who has a lot of ability in speaking many foreign languages, you should start from learning English. Harus dimulai dulu dari bahasa Inggris. Mulai dari yang paling mudah dulu.
Iya,
gitu.
baru bisa ke bahasa-bahasa lain.
Ya, karena gini, kalau kita punya pekerjaan, terus kita mulai dari hal yang paling mudah, itu akan menjadi, it's becoming a motivation for us to learn more, gitu ya. Ya kita semangat terus begitu.
Ya mungkin juga karena dengan bahasa Inggris ini kita bisa membuka jendela yang lebih luas ibaratnya.
Betul. Nah, one more about globalization. One things that we have to know, ya, you are as berarti you are Gen Z, right?
Yeah, right.
We can say that Gen Z also a native digital. You know, native digital. Maybe me as a millennial, I'm not a native digital. Even I use a smartphone, for example, I cannot identify myself, declare myself as a native digital. I'm bapak-bapak digital. Why? Because you know, before coming to this digitalization era, I was in non-digitalization era, so I'm not native, but you are native. What is the consequences as someone who live in a native digital? It means that, you know, there are many challenges, for example, like working remotely. Kayak kerja jarak jauh ya. Nah, I think it is a bit impossible taking a job from, let's say, US, but you use bahasa Indonesia.
Yeah, we can just
Makes sense, but no, of course. So, yeah, digitalization, you have to know about technology, okay. But beside ability on using gadget, using application, using technology, also we have to equip our skill with English.
Berarti benar ya, dengan kita bisa belajar bahasa Inggris, bisa ibaratnya bahasa Inggris udah bagus, ini
Ya,
membuka peluang kerja yang lebih luas lagi. Jadi nggak cuma kerja di Indonesia, tapi kita bisa kerja di luar negeri juga. Walaupun secara
I'm interested with your terminology, mentality, crab mentality. Yeah, I think, yeah, and it is actually one of the weakness of Indonesian. I'm not talking about LP3I student. I believe that LP3I students are, I mean, people with open-minded. Yeah, I believe like that. But in general, Indonesian mentality is like what you said, crab mentality, which is we have to, what is it? The first, before improving our skill, equipping our skill, we have to change our paradigm about working. For example, working is not only working locally, but we should start with, let's say, working globally. Globally, talking about globally, English is the key, right? Oke.
Oke, kira-kira untuk menunjang kita ke depannya tuh, kalau bahasa Inggrisnya masih pas-pasan, itu gimana sih?
Going to dukun. Of course not ya.
berarti kalau kalian dukun nanti jadi sobat banget di salah
English dukun. No, I mean like this. Yeah. What should we do? Could you please repeat? What should we do for the first time if our English still limited? Yeah, okay. The first thing, I think like this, yeah. The hardest one learning English is not learning English itself, but I think it's about something like a psychological problem. It's about commitment, actually. So, yeah, commitment, right? Do you agree that, you know, when we study, when we made decision already to study English, and then once we find an obstacle, and then we stuck. So the problem, it's about
procrastination.
Yeah, we need something like fighting spirit, right? Once we got stuck, an obstacle, we try another way. And something you have to know, yeah, the relationship between ability, understanding, or mastering many languages. It has relationship with you know, thinking. Have you ever heard like convergent thinking and divergent thinking? Yeah. It is an ability of thinking, yeah. What is the difference between divergent thinking and convergent thinking? Convergent thinking, it is a process of thinking, which is we are making decision. We have a lot of choice. Let's say like when we are doing multiple choice, we have option A, B, C, and D, and then we have to take decision. Which one is the best? A, B, C. It is the process of convergent thinking. It is not really related to creativity, actually. Yeah, convergent thinking doesn't improve our ability on, doesn't improve our critical thinking. The other one, it is divergent thinking. Divergent thinking, it is like brainstorming. Let's say we try to find a solution, and then we ask to our friend or to ourselves, what are the solutions? This is solution A, solution B, solution C. We are listing many solutions from one problem. It relates to creativity. It relates to critical thinking. So, the more languages, more foreign languages we master, more vocabulary we have, more terminology we have, it's also improve our ability on doing what I said as divergent thinking. We have a problem. Okay, based on terminology in this language, for example, I think we can do this solution, this one solution. So our ability making a list for solving a problem more than someone who is having limited language, for example. So it has also relationship to our creativity. So I think you're gonna be agree with me that if we are more creative, I think the possibility to get a job, and also the most important is possibility to be success in our job, it is much more than someone who is limited, right? Who is limited in creativity, who is also limited on mastering a language.
Oh, berarti kita tuh bisa ngelatih critical thinking cuma dari hal kecil, belajar bahasa Inggris sekecil hal.
Maybe like kosakata ya, terminologi, istilah, knowing terminology. So it is also like inspiration for us to do something, creativity, gitu. Okay.
Jadi kalau misalnya mau ditingkatin lagi, baiknya mulainya dari mana ya?
Mau ditingkatin lagi level bahasa Inggris, we want to improve our English level gitu ya. First, as I said, commitment ya. So, and I think learning English doesn't have to be in a language. In the classroom. Language English is, an activity which is we can do anytime. Everywhere, and I ever said to my students that because I believe that, as I said, English has relationship with our ability of thinking. Yeah, so maybe we can start like this, making to-do list in English. It's simple, right? It's simple, making to-do list in English. It's about customizing ourselves. Or maybe if you want to improve our, let's say, receptive skill. This one. Basically, there are 4 skill in English, right? Listening, speaking, writing, and also reading. We can classify both of them becoming 2. The first is receptive. Yes, receptive. It is listen and also reading. Listen, reading. And then productive. Productive is speaking. Speaking and writing. If we want to be good at writing, we must read a lot. And then if we want to be good at speaking, we must listen a lot. Okay, so we can improve skill by skill based on the character. For example, I want to be focused on listening. Right now, maybe we can start with listening to podcast on YouTube, English podcast, watching movie, listening to the music, and then you can start from something that it is make you fun. It makes you fun because when you start from something that it makes you fun. I hope that's your commitment gonna be much better. Maybe like that.
Berarti dimulai dari
yang kita sukai.
Basic dulu baru aktif.
Like this. Maybe I'm gonna ask like this. Is it possible you produce something without receiving something? Is it possible a factory producing products without buying raw material? Possible or not?
It's impossible.
Impossible. Is it possible being able to write, being able to speak, but you never practice listening and never read?
Yeah,
It's as
that's impossible.
as your first statement. So start with receptive skill improvement is also very important, I think. Yeah, okay.
Mister,
Ya.
bisa kasih contoh nyata nggak lulusan LP3 Depok yang karirnya melejit?
Mungkin mahasiswa atau mahasiswa yang pernah Mister ajar gitu.
Ya,
Okay, maybe I have to check the what is it office first ya. I cannot show it, but ya saya tidak bisa tunjukkan itu tapi pastinya ada ya karena in general basically your ability about English, it is in line with your success. But one information I would like to share to you, talking about career, maybe yes, the first target ya, talking about career, how to be hired by a company, right? By how to be hired. That's why I really appreciate to our campus. Why? Because in our campus, English is not only general English we learn, right? But English there is something much more specific like English for job interview. It is really important, right? Because learning English is not only learning English in general, but we have to be much more specific based on our target. Let's say our target to be able compete in manpower or something like that. Okay. Now, the first it is being able to be recruited, but the other one and then the most important is to be success in our job. Not only recruited, but also how to make our career improve, boost, melejit. So it is very important also. I have an information about that from I forget the names of our section in LP3I, which is making relationship with the company.
Embassy visit?
No. I mean,
company visit?
No, that's program. I mean department section in our campus. What? CNP. Yes, from CNP officer. There is an information like this that someone it has a statistic resources someone who has better English gonna be much more success in the career. I mean the possibility to get promotion much better than someone who has limited English. It's a fact. It's an information, a data about that.
Kenapa bisa gitu, Sir? Kan nggak kayak skill itu nggak cuma bahasa Inggris aja. Kayak misalnya kita skill ada di desain atau skill misalnya di fotografi atau di videografi gitu kan.
Okay, sebetulnya salah satunya ya, because to be success there are many variable, but English becoming one of the variable ya. Jadi gini misalnya. We are not talking about a process of hiring because let's say many company in Indonesia doesn't require English, for example, tidak mensyaratkan bahasa Inggris. Jadi let's say we have two people dua-duanya sama sudah masuk karena tidak ada proses recruitment in English or hiring process in English gitu kan. But one having good English, other having minimal English, for example. But both of them recruited, but when they have been working in the company, yang punya bahasa Inggris itu melejit lebih bagus daripada yang biasa. Kenapa? For example, like this. In a company, they have like programs, an event. Nah, biasanya bahasa Inggrisnya lebih bagus, dia ada hubungan dengan public speaking. Kalaupun harus pakai bahasa Indonesia, biasanya lebih bagus, apalagi dalam bahasa Inggris. So, it's becoming a point to get more, value to get a promotion next time in the career gitu. Jadi ternyata itu lebih penting, lebih lebih dominan mempengaruhi kegemilangan karir kita gitu.
Berarti benar-benar bahasa Inggris itu emang benar-benar kayak krusial banget di dunia kerja gitu.
Ya, betul. Setidaknya membantu memoles karir kita tampak gemilau di mata bos begitu.
Oke. Nih pertanyaan yang terakhir, Sir.
Mudah-mudahan bisa dijawab ya.
Tadi Kak Mister juga udah ngasih saran nih. Kira-kira ada motivasi nggak sih Sir, untuk mahasiswa atau mahasiswi ini untuk meningkatin bahasa Inggrisnya?
Okay. Maybe I would like to start from my own experience. Yeah. You know, my dad forced me to learn English since I was junior high school. Ya, but I never won. Ya sama lah, mendingan main game. Gitu. Nah, I didn't realize at the time that English is really important gitu. Nah, and then I started learning English outside of the school ya, when I was in senior high school. Senior high school, the last level in senior high school. Nah, and then I moved to, before taking English education, I studied in accounting, associate degree accounting, and I learned I learned Japanese, Mandarin, and that's program 2 credits. 2 credits twice ya. Nah, when I learned them, it's really hard actually. Susah ternyata belajar Mandarin. Wah, Mandarin is really difficult on intonation. And then Japanese, it's really different because the strukturnya itu totally different with bahasa Indonesia. English is almost the same, SPOK, almost the same. Nah, so it's becoming motivation for me actually. Before learning Mandarin, learning Japanese, learning English is not really something really interesting for me actually. Just so. But after that, oh my God, actually English is the easiest foreign language actually. So it's becoming motivation. So I believe that it is also the same when you are comparing to other languages. English is the easiest. So mending belajar bahasa Inggris deh daripada belajar bahasa yang lain dulu. Next, when your English has been good, you can equip your foreign language with another languages.
Jadi motivasi itu karena susah bahasa lainnya, jadi mending bahasa Inggris dulu.
Betul, karena susah. Kalau saya pribadi seperti itu, karena susah, terus saya belajar bahasa Inggris dan gini. Karena mungkin juga saya gini, saya waktu itu bukan orang bahasa Inggris, karena saya kan I was studying in accounting, so it is like I said to my student that it is the power of bodo amat. Nah, the power of bodo amat, nothing tulus making mistake, it's nothing tulus. So it makes me, as you said, I'm what kind of lecture am I? Extrovert. Maybe that's make me extrovert. Why? Because I don't have to be afraid making mistake, because it is not my my majoring at that time. And right now, still the same, because in my opinion, English is not our mother language, right? It is not our mother tongue. So making mistake is not really problem. But from that, it's becoming a motivation. And having, like communication like this, talking to the native, it's gonna be double our motivation also. That's why in our campus there is a project, right? Going outing, having an interview with the native. It should be a motivation for you once you have been success interviewing native speaker, asking about everything. One of our students asking about phone number, start making relationship. I don't know, maybe because fall in love or something. Maybe.
Mungkin dia mau memperluas jaringan
networkingnya. Nggak tahu networking or romance itu. I don't know. But it's success. So success becoming us much more motivated, well motivated, gitu. Jadi kita ambil sukses-sukses yang kecil dulu. Nah, sukses-sukses kecil itu menjadi motivasi buat kita to reach another big motivation, another big success aja.
Jadi termotivasi.
Amin. Oke.
Abis ini mau belajar.
Oke, katanya mau belajar habis ini.
Benar ini ya. Ya, jadi kesimpulannya tuh ternyata bahasa Inggris itu benar-benar penting banget ya dalam kita kehidupan sehari-hari ataupun dalam dunia kerja.
Betul.
Yang bahasa Inggris itu kayak cuman sekecil bahasa aja tuh benar-benar bisa ngebuka kita ke informasi informasi luar gitu kayak
Keluar, betul.
Ibaratnya kayak
Maybe like this, talking about recruitment process ya. If we have limited English, let's say we haven't talked about the process like job interview, not yet ya. Let's say like reading advertisement. When we have limited English, padahal reading advertisement itu kan pasif ya, gampang syaratnya apa gitu kan, reading about that. If we have a limited on English, so we will quit before trying. But if you have good English, you will try. You're gonna be like challenge. So you will try it. You are motivated to try it, right? So start from that. English really really matters to the decision that you will make.
Inggris benar-benar se-important itu.
Yang terlihat penting. Karena bahasa Inggris itu mempengaruhi motivasi kita, mempengaruhi cara kita berpikir. Tadi ada critical thinking, creativity, terus juga, maybe if you have a good English, you have a good communication, di kampus, di dunia kerja akan terlihat lebih supel. Nah, supel itu yang mempengaruhi kesuksesan orang tersebut gitu. Ya hal-hal kecil, family gathering, udah si Abel aja deh yang ini rame dia campur-campur bahasa Inggris. Terus juga gini, makanya tadi saya tanya, is it 100% in English? Ya, talking in bahasa Indonesia is not haram, right? Nggak haram, that's okay. Paling tidak gini juga, kita bisa, if we have a limited in English ya, we try what we call as code switching. Jadi kita switch, tapi nggak 100% di switch. Karena kalau di switch langsung tiba-tiba bahasa Inggris, there is no magician can do it. Apalagi cuma dosen, guru, nggak ada yang bisa. Magician pun nggak bisa. At least we try to what we call as code switching. Jadi satu kata pakai bahasa Inggris, dua kata pakai bahasa Inggris, satu frase pakai bahasa Inggris. Nanti lebih banyak satu kalimat pakai bahasa Inggris satu kalimat bahasa Indonesia, bahasa Inggris, bahasa Indonesia. Nanti satu paragraf bahasa Inggris. Nanti seharian pakai bahasa Inggris. Gitu.
Small steps matter.
Yes. Gradual. Do it gradually. Lakukan secara bertahap sedikit-sedikit.
Okay, thank you sir for your sharing dan kita dapat banyak insight ya di sini. Banyak banget hal-hal yang bisa kita ambil dari Mr. Dayan ini, kayak udah ada sarannya dan juga motivasi dari Mr. Dayan nih yang pastinya tuh bikin kita semangat nih untuk belajar bahasa Inggris.
Motivasi terbesarnya adalah sukses, money. That's gonna be the greatest motivation. Yeah, if you want to be rich people, young people, so the easiest way is getting job, right? Starting a business, maybe next level, but start with getting job. Nah, to be success in getting job in your career, maybe that's not the only one element, not the only one variable. Tadi kata Abel, itu saja enggak. Itu hanya salah satu variabel. Tapi yang paling mudah, variabel yang paling mudah dilihat bahasa Inggris kan. Ngobrol, terus ketika ada event, tampil, itu kan paling terlihat mudah oleh bos gitu ya. Gitu.
Oke. Ya mungkin untuk podcast kali ini cukup sampai sini saja. Saya Abel dan partner saya Prima. Sebagai moderator pamit undur diri.
Oke.